guys, this is Punit. Welcome back to another video. So recently I got asked a question related to pre-market analysis and how to do it. So instead of just saying how to mark out support and resistance zones, or maybe you're saying higher time frame zones to mark them, whatever it may be, people often tend to forget that pre-market analysis is not just about marking your charts and just getting onto the trading day. There are many steps which I regularly follow, or at least try to regularly follow. So first things first, let's get this right. Treat trading like a sport and not a game. What happens in a game? If you lose or you're about to lose, you just restart the game. You have a clean slate. You have no records of how you performed during the game. You have no responsibility of what you did or ownership of what you did during that game. But instead, if you treat trading like a sport, everything matters. You have real consequences, you're keeping records, stakes are high because real money is on the line. This important differentiation makes you a professional trader or a novice trader. Let's say we are professional footballers. How do we train ourselves? We have set sleep hours, we have set wake up hours, we have set training hours, we have set resting hours, we have set feedback loops to understand what to improve, how to improve, and how to perform in the future matches. And everything is a cycle, and it's boring, it's repetitive. People nowadays on YouTube have made trading to be a joyful event or an entertaining event, but it's not. It's very boring, it's very professional, and it's going to take a lot of you. So now that we have a clear understanding of why trading is a sport, let's get on to the next thing. Trust the system. To gain trust in a system, it has to be yours. If even if I give you a SQN quality, I mean system quality number of 5 or greater than 5, whatever it may be, you'll still end up losing money quitting trades when you need to, and all those other mistakes. You'll keep doing those mistakes unless and until you make that system your own. You should be trusting that system with your life. Let's say you have a system that has a win rate of 40%, and in a year it maybe generates 200 trades. Since 60% of the trades are going to be losers, you have to sit through that pain. What if that pain happens every day? You take the first trade, it's a loss. Second trade, it's a loss. Third trade, the next day was a loss. Fourth trade, again on the next day was a loss. How would your mental state be if you're taking four such losses? Is it jumping to recovery mode of money, of capital? Is it jumping through, okay, the system is not working, maybe let's switch the system or let's try to find another strategy? If you're running through such problems regularly, this is what you're missing. How to trust your system? You have to sit and backtest. No matter what the system is, no matter what, who told, unless and until you have the practice to do it, you cannot make it your own. If I teach you how to swim and on a YouTube video, can you right away jump into a swimming pool and start swimming? No, right? You have to put in the hours, you have to do some basic training. Now, mark support and resistance regions that matter. Okay, if I talk about support and resistance, it is either dynamic or static. What is a dynamic support and resistance? People often use moving averages as a dynamic support and resistance, or horizontal lines as dynamic support and resistance regions. Now, depending upon your system, whatever it may be, those are the things you are marking. For me personally, my support and resistance is dynamic. It's an EMA 20 period moving exponential moving average, and I don't need any other support and resistance for that matter. Maybe at times I might draw a trend line, which is also a dynamic support and resistance, but most of the time I just have 20 EMA on the chart. But nonetheless, if you're worried about yesterday's open, high, low, or close, whatever it, or just the highs and the lows, or weekly highs and lows, there are trading systems which you can develop and trade. For example, if I have to say, so this is a 1 hour time frame chart. You are executing your trades on 5 minute time frame chart. Now we have trading range price action. As you can see, price is trying to move up in the bottom third region and trying to move down on the top third region. So this is an established trading range. How do you know that? We have seen multiple occurrences of that happening. Now the price has reached the top third region here. What do you expect on the 5 minute time frame? Maybe look for a major trend reversal. So this day was 26th of May 2025. Okay, this is the 5 minute time frame chart. This is the top third region of the trading range. Breakout leg, pause, breakout, pause, failed breakout. Maybe you don't want to short this to bear bars. You wait for a strong closing bear bar, this bar or this bar, and then go short here. So this is one such example of what you can do in static support and resistance regions. So if you see this day or day's price action, here it's behaving like a tight trading range. This day was the first breakout. You wait for a retest, and maybe somewhere here you got another trade. Like this, you can keep going on marking support and resistance regions. It need not always be what yesterday's closing price and yesterday's high and yesterday's low is doing. It can be what price action is doing like this. In my experience, trading based on what price action is doing and marking support and resistance based on that is much more effective than just looking at what yesterday's high low or weekly's high low was doing. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. I'm saying I wasn't able to find much consistency there. So on to the next thing. What is mental imagery rehearsal? You might have heard famous sports personalities saying they were imagining how the ball was coming and how they would take the shot, how would they defend, or maybe target a four or target a six or just leave the ball, whatever it may be. They are living the moment in their imagination. Now, why is this important for you as a trader? Suppose, like I said before, if the first trade of the first day was a loser, how would that make you feel? What are the emotions that are running through your mind or through your heart? Okay, now first trade was a loss. Now, what about the second trade? Let's say it was a loss too. How are you feeling now? Maybe more agitated, irritated, feeling like a loser, or maybe blaming the markets or the coach who taught you about trading, whatever it may be. You carry that emotions into the next trade and you mess up the decisions again there. So once you're done marking your support and resistance regions, sit and close your eyes for 10-15 minutes or however long it may take and calmly go through each and every emotion, mistakes which you tend to do and leave them. What do I mean by leave them? You're experiencing that pain before the markets are open. Why do you need to experience that pain before the markets are open? The next step is to rebalance those emotions. How do you do that? Okay, let's say the first trade was a loss. Now I'm feeling lost. I want to make money. At least if I'm not making money, I want to recover that money. Now, this step ties back to the first step. What was the first step? Know your trading system. Trust your trading system. Suppose your trading system says you have only 40% odds of winning, and this first trade of the day was a loser. Does that mean that you have to do something very dramatic or change your trading style or change your decision pattern? No, right? Stick to the plan. Live through the pain. I'm not saying ignore the pain. Live through the pain. But tell yourself that this is just part of the, I won't call it a game, part of the sport. Like that, everything you do, every pain point, maybe if you're a high frequency trader and there are not many setups, but you're still taking those trades, it may be because of this reason. The first trade was a loser, the second trade was a loser, and your system only generates maybe 2 to 3 trades per day, and you end up taking 10 trades per day. You are lost in that loop of recovering money recovering habit or revenge trading. So identify where your fault lies live through the pain before the market opens. Tell yourself how you will handle those emotions if at all the first trade actually turns out to be a loser in that trading day. Or what happens if you are losing twice consecutively in that trading day? Do you still take the third trade, or do you want to reset your mind, do the thing the next day? All those things have to be decided, balanced before the market opens. Now, what is a pre-market checklist? So, suppose I'm trading a 3 bar breakout system. People like Ali, who is also a Elbrook student, has 10 checklists for that system. I have 7 checklists for that system, 7 points checklist for that system. Maybe I'm looking for a micro gap between the first bar's high and the third bar's low if it's a 3 bar bull breakout system. Or I'm seeing if there is a tick gap between one bar and the next bar. I'm seeing the range of the 3 bars. I'm seeing how they are closing and so on. If I'm only going to trade 3 bar breakout systems for the next year, I need to have this checklist printed physically and close to my screen and be ready with it. During the heat of the moment, we tend to miss all the checklist points. Trust in our system, we already know what the checklist is trying to say to you. But in the heat of the moment, if we are missing a point or two, and that system, maybe that particular setup, instead of being a high probability setup, if I'm talking about a 3 bar breakout system, I'm expecting it to be giving me a win rate of 70% or higher. But if it's not meeting all my conditions, then I would say, okay, it's missing 2 conditions in the checklist. Does that mean the probability goes down to 60%? 60%, although it's still fine, I still have to pay charges, right? Maybe I won't take that particular trade. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, what happens if all the 7 conditions are met? Now, let's say I have a win rate of 90%. So, do I take the trade? Maybe yes. So, having a checklist is very crucial if you are a new beginner trader. So, if you guys have doubt on how to calculate the SQN number of a system, trading system, or you have doubts on how to do mental rehearsal or mental rebalancing, or how to create a checklist based on your strategy, please let me know and I'll be able to answer those questions. But this is it for the part one of the 3 part to 4 part series. I've not decided how long it will take to complete, but there are 5 sections, and this was the first session of the entire complete trader routine. So I hope you guys found some understanding as to what it takes to be a professional trader and treat it like a sport and not a game. So thank you guys.